Hello, 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 and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast. I'm Dane Hennon. To my right, Levi Gates.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
To my left, Anthony Fisher.
What's up, guys?
And we're the Rag Company guys. We're doing a
Here we
thing
go.
here.
Hey, we're the guys.
So,
Do a thing.
So this is main show number 52. For those just joining us, this is a podcast we do where it's our main weekly show.
Yeah, we just catch up and see
just
how
kinda
the week's
shoot the
been
breeze.
going.
Yeah.
So you guys have had quite an adventure. Yeah. I have had quite an adventure.
Yeah, we covered ours
Next
last
year,
week.
you guys are coming on the adventure with me.
That's what I hear.
So
Well,
that'll be really rad.
I think what we're going to do right now is allow you to recap
Oh,
the
thanks.
adventure
Appreciate
that
it.
you had, because we talked about our end of things, but we're really curious to what happened over at your end.
Well, we'll start off. So those of you that haven't heard this, you should listen to episode number 51. Actually, you should listen to 51.
Just listen
Give you
to
some
them all.
context of our vacation trip, basically. So this is, we're going to start off, you guys dropping me and Jeff off, because that's where we parted ways.
Yeah, right during
Dropped us off
One.
at the airport in SeaTac.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the bat, nice and easy. Jeff and I walked up to the Delta counter, and I noticed the Virgin Atlantic counter was sitting right next to it.
Oh,
and I was like, okay, well, we're flying Delta, and I got my Delta app up, and it's telling me to go to the Delta counter to check in, but then the Virgin Atlantic also pops up and says, come to the Virgin Atlantic counter to check in, and I am confused.
Naturally.
So, Delta had a very long line of people, and I was not interested in standing in that line. Virgin had no line. So I walk up to one of the guys there at Virgin, and I said, hey, I'm supposed to fly Delta, but it's telling me we're flying your plane to the UK. Do I need to check in with you guys? And the guy goes, the 2 o'clock to Heathrow. I said, yes.
Right this way.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
right
I
away,
said,
sir.
yeah. And he goes, well, what are you flying? And I said, Economy Delight. And he goes, oh, then right this way.
It's such a fun little name.
Yeah,
you know?
so Economy Delight is basically business class or Delta Comfort Plus.
So it's not really economy after
It's not economy, it's their
It's
business
not to be
class.
confused with Turkish Delight or anything like
Not
that.
the Turkish Delight, it's called Economy Delight.
Okay.
So he checks us in, he takes us to the counter, and the gal checks us in, takes our bags, does everything. And then Jeff and I go over to the clear line, and I need to finish my metrics, my biometrics, and the machine doesn't work.
Oh.
Thankfully, there was nobody in line, so we just went through the TSA,
Okay.
did
well,
our normal behavior.
some people don't know what clear is.
Yeah,
or
so
what
for those
pre-check
of you, that don't know, you need to get pre-check. It's 5 years for like $90.
That's a
and
deal.
it makes it so much better because you don't have to take off your shoes. In most cases, you don't have to take off your belt. If you have a sweatshirt or a hoodie on, you don't have to take that off. But you do still have to empty your pockets, and basically all they ask is you throw everything in your bag and send your bag through.
Yeah.
So what does that encompass, though? Like, do they have to do a background check to make sure that
Yeah, so you sign up, you do the application online, and then they give you an appointment, and then you go to this facility, and you get fingerprinted, you give them your driver's license, you get photographed, and then the TSA gives you it's like a mini background check to make sure you don't have anything bad, but then you get what's known as a known traveler number.
Mm-hmm.
You take that number, and you can add it into all your frequent flyer programs. So if you're with Delta, Sky Miles, or United, or American, or Southwest, or any of those, you can add that to your profile. So you can add that number. It's kind of like a social security number, but it's a known traveler number.
Yeah.
And that way, when you're flying anywhere, if you're going to pick up your tickets on one of those and you add those Delta miles or those Sky Mile number in, it already has all your information, gives them your known traveler, and automatically you get pre-check. And because you guys get to fly with me most of the time, I have pre-check, so you guys, therefore, you get pre-check, which makes it nice. So the next step is clear.
Okay.
So pre-check is 5 years for like $90. Clear, if you have Delta Sky Miles, if you're a Sky Mileage member, they give you, for $100 a year, you get clear. Clear gets you to the front of the TSA pre-check line, because all they do is scan your eyeballs and your fingerprints.
We're living in the future, guys.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. They give you, if you have a kid traveling with you, you get that for free as well. If you want to add a spouse, it's like $40 or $50.
If you're the kind of person who routinely wears a tinfoil hat, though, maybe you're not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, it is. You are giving a lot of information to companies, but
if you travel a lot,
I mean, like, look back to. So, diverging off topic here for a second, but look back to that morning when we were in Denver.
Oh, my
We got there,
God,
it was
line.
what time? 5 a.m. When we got to the airport?
Really early.
And the line to check in was crazy.
Yeah.
It wrapped
We got through there.
around the entire...
And those ladies did an awesome job getting us through and getting us checked in. But then we walked down to security.
And you just see the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like 500 people in the normal security line.
Yeah.
And then the TSA pre-check line had like 75 to 100 in it. And then the clear line had 0. So that's one of the reasons. So when you're flying through like Seattle, or you're flying through Denver, or you're flying through, Orlando, you're flying through the bigger airports.
Big hubs.
And let's say like you're me, you do this for a living, it makes it so much easier. So you're not wasting that time standing in line with everybody else. It gets it easier. And I mean, we've benefited from pre-check when we went to, back east, all that stuff, right?
Saved us from some
other than Dane carrying batteries in his carry-on, that was about the only thing that slowed us down, though, right?
Yeah.
Basically, neatly tucked rows of AA batteries look questionable. So,
they look like bullets.
That's something that...
But anyway, that didn't work, but it will make a difference on a lot of the trips that we've been going on. So, anyway, Jeff and I got on the plane. One of the cool things was because it's business class, we got to check in, like we got to load the plane early, which was pretty rad.
Very nice.
They were like, all our first class passengers and economy delight passengers. And I was like, well, Jeff, let's go. It was crazy. And so we got on the plane. Jeff and I, the night before, picked our seats so that I'd had a window, he had an aisle, and we were hoping that seat between us stayed empty. And it did, which was amazing.
See, that's nice. That doesn't always happen.
Well, yeah, you guys got that on the way back from...
It's true.
When we were flying back from Jersey.
We were in the emergency row, so we got to have a lot of extra leg room.
Yeah. So that was rad. So we were good on that flight because we had that seat between us. We could put stuff or whatever.
Sure,
The food on Virgin Atlantic is phenomenal. I've never had...
What's the deal with airline food?
I've never had good airline food ever, and this stuff was awesome. They release an air freshener in the cabin. They do mood lighting because they're trying to they really have it down to a science on how to fly over the Atlantic. It was really comfortable. Seats were great. Nicest seats I think I've ever sat in, and they were just normal business class seats.
You had mentioned when we were talking earlier about the windows. They're like those
so they automatically darken.
Yeah.
They darken so you could adjust it yourself.
Oh, okay.
But at a certain time period, they locked them, and so they were turned off completely, and they just went black, mostly to make it so that it felt like nighttime.
Sure.
So they fed us dinner. We left Seattle at 2 p.m. We landed in Heathrow at 7:30 a.m. But yeah, it was great. And when they were doing the cleanup for dinner, they released an air freshener into the cabin. So it was like lavender and lemon and something else. So it didn't smell when they were picking
For all
up.
the party passengers out there,
No,
we're going to make sure
you don't realize when there
covered.
are 250 people on a plane and they're cleaning up food and they're walking through with garbage bags.
That's some punk.
You could smell. I started to smell it and I was like, oh man, this is.
Well, I already think
smell it.
People on planes smell bad anyways.
Yeah, no, and it was
seriously.
Well, and that's my thing is why don't other airlines do this and release? They just released it in the air ventilation system, and it was pleasant to the point that they sell that fragrance.
It's like a 10-cent extra cost that nobody wants to pay.
Yeah, but it made it so much better.
Yeah.
So those of you that are flying and you decide to go over to Europe or the UK, fly Virgin Atlantic. It's awesome.
Not too shabby.
It was great. Plane was nice. Everything. It was just cabin crew's awesome. They've got cool uniforms.
Any idea what kind of plane you were flying on?
It was a newer 747.
Oh, okay.
Big plane. It was a 333 cross. Up front was the pods. They had sleeping pods up front at the very nose, and then they had the first class.
Is the pods
seats.
first class or the pods, or are they?
Pods are above first class.
Oh, are they?
They're like $5,000 or $3,000 a seat.
Just for
I
a
think
flight
our
to
round,
go
just one
somewhere,
way.
yeah.
Like our round trip was like
Man.
1,500 or something. But
Yeah.
but yeah, these are like 3,000 one way. Like kind of to get a sleeping pod.
That's nuts.
Yeah. How
So-
much is your sleep worth?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, I heard they're pretty awesome. But
Yeah.
so anyway, we landed at Heathrow and then we sat in customs. So we had to walk through customs. That took us 1 hour. I was texting you guys.
Yeah.
I wanted to
okay.
take a picture of the line, but they literally say don't take any camera photos or anything like that.
because then it looks real sketchy.
Yeah, so so we got through that. I was texting John Delu, Forensic Detailing Channel, throughout that. When we got through customs, he wrote back and said, awesome, I just hit the car park. I'm parking my car. I'll get out. I'll meet you guys inside. I said, perfect.
So nice, that guy.
So we literally
John.
walk out, and we're standing by an ATM for like not even 3 minutes, and John comes down the stairs, and I'm like, hey, John. And
No time at all.
yeah, and then put us in his car. The guy drove like an hour and a half in the morning on a Thursday to pick us up. Like, so he got up at like 6 a.m. and then drove to pick
Holy
us
cow.
up and get there. You know, I was just
John,
I
you're a
cannot say
hero.
enough. John, you're amazing. Thank you. So then he took us into Chichester, drove us down to Chichester. Yeah, we hit our hotel, dropped off our baggage. And then John took us to Goodwood. We checked that out. We went and got a drink.
I'm so jealous.
Checked the racetrack out. Checked the airfield out. Lexus was there doing some runs and some laps with
I
some
saw
new
some
Lexus.
LC500s making
That was
some
pretty
runs.
cool.
Sounded pretty good.
And then we tried to get up to the Goodwood house, but they had it all closed off because they were still
okay.
tearing down from the event.
Yeah.
They had cranes and stuff.
Missed it by
pretty-
like a week.
Yeah, we literally missed it by a week. So that was a bummer. But the rest of the place was just awesome. The weather was gorgeous. We headed over to John's house, spent a couple hours, did some videos. You guys can check it out on the Forensic Detailing channel. He just released that video that we
saw one
did.
come up.
And we just kind of hung out and, did a podcast with him, did a video with him. And then he took us back to our hotel when we were actually allowed to check in. Jeff and I were running on we'd been awake for about 30 hours with only about 3 hours of sleep on the plane. So needless to say, we were exhausted.
Plane sleep doesn't count.
No. And even though, the flight was comfortable, the seats reclined really well. It was a good flight. It's not a good sleep.
No.
So we hit our hotel, cool little boutique hotel in downtown Chichester.
It looked kind of funky, yeah.
It was rad. It was an old it was an old mansion that had been turned into a hotel. So amazed to get to our room, basically. But one thing I know is that it had no air conditioning.
Oh, okay.
They had a fan in the room, so we turned on our fans, and Jeff had the big bed. I took the twin bed in the corner, and we took a nap for about 2 hours, then got up, got dressed, ready to go, met John for dinner downstairs in our hotel.
Oh, so you just had it right there.
Yeah, lovely dinner down there. That was amazing. I had a
Nice.
bone marrow burger.
Ooh.
It was awesome. It was really good. And then after dinner, we went to, we found an ice cream stand, like parlor.
You would.
And we got ice cream, and we sat in this little back room, like patio. It was very bohemian. Just sat and ate ice cream and talked to John. And I was like, damn it, we should have recorded all this because the conversation was so good. Then we
There's
went.
always going to be that stuff.
Yeah, well, then we went to bed. Next morning, Jeff and I got up, had breakfast at the hotel. I was able to get the orange marmalade for my kids. They had little jars of orange marmalade
They asked
there.
for that. That was such
And that's
a
what they asked
specific
for.
thing
So I was like,
to
yeah.
ask
So I
for.
stole 2 jars and put them in my pocket.
Nice.
And then we went for a walk just to check out the city. They were setting up for their farmer's market. This is a Friday morning.
Oh, I bet that's actually pretty cool there.
So they were setting up for a farmer's market. And then we walked to the cross, which is that big structure that is on the Instagram that I sent you guys.
It looks like a gazebo,
It
except
looks like a gazebo,
really,
but it's
really
all
fancy.
ornate stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's called the Cross, and it's literally the center of downtown Chichester.
So it's a pretty medieval town, you were saying.
It is. It was a Roman city, and it wasn't damaged during World War II, so
Didn't get bombed.
it didn't
or
get bombed.
anything.
So
Okay.
Coventry, by example, Coventry up north got bombed pretty bad during the war, so everything's kind of new. up there.
Okay.
They did a lot of rebuilding in the 50s and 60s, so it's a transitional city in the sense that like has some old stuff, but then a lot of new stuff.
Right.
Where Coventry is still very old, or Chichester is very old, and still very small and quaint and very Sussex is what it's called. But we checked out a cathedral. Jeff and I did, wandered around. I mean, it's just, I like being in places when I'm like, this place is 1,000 years old, and I'm standing in a spot that is has been here for 1,000 years.
Just thinking of all the other people who stood in that spot.
Yeah, well, and then at that same time, inside the church, there was something cut out with a glass panel, and they found a mosaic that had been there from like almost 2,000 years. Like it was like almost 2,000 years old. Like crazy to be like standing on that, going like, holy cow! Like
yowza,
that's old. And seeing just this piece of stone, like a mosaic, like tile pattern. Like that's like I don't know about you guys, but I get chills when I'm standing in a spot like that.
It's just a vibe.
Yeah, and all right, like there's a saying, stand ye in holy places, and that's kind of not, it doesn't have to be like a church facility.
Holy per se.
It doesn't have to be holy, but it's like a spot where time has always existed.
There's history.
There's history on that spot, and there's something I find powerful being on those areas that like humans have been there for that many years. Because in the U.S. we probably have that, but the country's over 200 years old. Like there's not that level, not like a millennia of history, so to speak. So pretty cool. But the next morning, John picked us up. We headed over to his place. We did some more videos. We did a video on bead maker.
Which, it seems like that's a pretty hot commodity over there.
It is. I may or may not have anything to do with that.
Okay. Well, yeah,
I should say the royal we have done a lot of that. Yeah. So needless to say, I got lots of questions while we were there. But then, so anyway, we hung out at John's, just had a blast with him and his wife. Just cool guy. And then he took us to a different train station because he found out the best route for us to get to Coventry and drove us another 20 minutes to this train station. So I was like, John, you are a hero and a saint.
Yep.
Like, you didn't have to do all this, and thank you for doing all of that. Yeah. So then we got on the train, rode the train into London, which was cool. Got to London, walked through did the whole underground experience to find our next train.
Nice.
Rode the tube for a bit, and then got on our next train, rode that train into Coventry. So we got to see the whole English countryside, because we went from Chichester at the very south of the continent, which is literally like just the beach, like it's the coast.
It's very oceanside, the whole
the UK.
thing.
And then we went up to London, and then another 2 hours north of London to Coventry. We got to Coventry, and
I hear Coventry's a little different.
yeah, it's very different. But we got on we walked out of the train station, grabbed a cab, and then headed to our hotel. Quick 5-minute jaunt, and it was funny because I had Google Earth the whole trip.
Oh yeah.
So that way I could like see it. And so I was telling Jeff, I'm like, there's an IKEA on our right. There's a hotel up here. Our hotel's just like 2 blocks up, and sure enough, there it was. I was like, well, that was cool. So it was good to do that, and for my sense of direction, so to speak. When we got to the hotel, though, found out our taxi did not take credit cards or debit cards, only cash. And none of us had cash. Though, right? It was only £5. Okay. But none of us had it. Oh. So Jeff's like, let me go and see if there's an ATM in the hotel.
Like a 10 on him.
Yeah. Jeff had a $10 American bill on him, and I think I had like a 20. And so we were laughing about that. The girl in the hotel said, I don't have that, but you guys can go across the street to the store and get money out of that ATM. And we're like, oh my gosh. And then this guy, thankfully, is standing in the lobby with us, and he goes, how much do you need? And we're like, £5. He's like, I got it. Goes and gives it to the guy, and he goes, you owe me £6 to Jeff. He gave him like $1 tip or a pound tip. And Jeff's like, oh my gosh, I'll get you back. He's like, I only have a $10 bill on it if you want it. And the guy took the $10 bill and gave it to his son and said, there, now you got a tenner from America. So don't worry about it, guys. So that guy was super cool. Very nice. And then we got our hotel rooms. We went Up to the hotel rooms, we found, I messaged Ivan and everybody, found out they were checking in, so we just missed them. They were like walking in when we were going up.
Yeah.
And so we ended up hooking up with Ivan and everybody. So Morton from Denmark was there. Our Patrick and Edwin from Rag Company Europe were there. And then Ivan LaCroix was there. So we had a good group, 6 of us. Again, no air conditioning in the hotel, only fans.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, the UK doesn't ever get this hot. They're going through
Everybody's going through a heat wave right
They're
now.
going through a heat wave and a drought. There has been no rain in the UK for 2 weeks when we're there.
I was going to say, that seems wrong because the UK...
Everything is dying.
Oh.
Yeah.
All the grass in all the parks were dead. There was a water ban, like you couldn't use water, you couldn't wash, you couldn't do stuff. So they were freaking out because there's no water. And in a country that's never that hot and always rainy, there isn't a need for air conditioning or having sprinkler systems.
Suddenly HVAC services are popping up overnight.
Some people were, yeah. So that was hard to get used because us lazy Americans, we like AC. Everything's air conditioned.
Everything has to be comfortable.
Yeah. So I had a fan in my room. Ivan had a fan in his room. And we decided we were going to go over to the shop, get some money. So we're heading over there. Jeff realizes that both of us, I go, man, I opened my windows, turned on my fan in my room. Ivan's like, yeah, I did too. That would cool off. Jeff's like, wait, you guys have fans in your room?
Oh, no.
I'm like, you don't? And he's like, I didn't see one.
Oh, man.
So he goes, I was like,
Must
well,
not
when
like
you
you as
check,
much.
maybe check your closet. It might be in there. He's like, oh, it's a good idea. Anyway, as we're crossing the street to get to the shop, I see myself, my first proper British crackhead.
Nice.
Which is identical to the American crackheads, because I guess crack's the same everywhere you go.
But do they sound more intelligent because they have an accent?
Yeah, they do.
They're like, hello, I've made some mistakes in my life, and I need some money.
She wanted some money.
Somebody's
Wanted to
gonna
know
correct
if we
your
had any
accent
change.
from the UK
I
right
said,
now.
all I have is American money. I don't think that'll work.
You
She's
sound like you're from London.
God.
Well, that's
Sorry,
pretty
guys.
funny.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
But
That you
anyway,
had
so
to
we
hear
go
that.
in. I find Diet Pepsi. Now, mind you, I did
man.
not. I've been going 2 days without, or a day, basically like 36 hours without Diet Pepsi.
Longtime listeners will note that Pepsi is Levi's lifeblood.
Well, it's the choice of the new generation. You got to have it. You know, you always got to pick the right one, baby.
Still trying to get sponsored, I see.
So, anyway, I created a hashtag for those of you that want to look. You can go back into my Instagram profile on my pages, and in the picture series that I could not find Diet Pepsi, I literally created the hashtag Levi can't find Diet Pepsi. And for the times that I did find Diet Pepsi, but Levi drinks Diet Pepsi. So, very good. But the shop had it, so I bought me a couple bottles. Ivan bought his razor and some shaving cream so he could shave his head. Your dad got a soda and some candy bars and stuff like that. And we all headed back, changed, got ready, went to dinner with Patrick and Edwin and Morton. 6 of us walked into Coventry, went to this really cool place called the Cozy Club. But we needed a reservation.
Oh.
Because it was Friday night. It's Friday night. It's like 7 o'clock, or it's like 6 o'clock. We needed a dinner reservation. We're like, dang it. So we go down, and I took a picture of us in front of the restaurant we did. It was just a normal tavern, little pub. Food was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay. Everything tasted fine. It was just, it took forever to get to our table. And then everything was wrong. Like, Patrick and Edwin's, we ordered like 5 steaks, and they were all medium rare. And 2 of them were medium rare. The other 3 were well done. And anyway, it was just frustrating. And
it was like a health code thing. It's like, I can't leave it that raw.
It's just one of those things, like, you pay a lot of money for it, and it's not right. So we had dinner. We mostly just talked, told stories, joked around. I showed them the new video intro. Everybody loved it. They thought that was awesome. So we then went back to our hotel. We hung out and just talked till like 2 in the morning almost. I think it was 1. And had that. We got up the next morning at like 8 a.m. We went and had breakfast in the hotel. Edwin loves to eat English breakfast every morning. Patrick and
what are
Ivan,
they like? Do you think I would get along with these guys in terms of eating food?
Oh, you were fine. You would have had fun with them.
Oh man,
Anthony has eating compatibility studies.
Yeah.
With
no. Patrick and Ivan were on keto, so they were just eating meat, pure meat.
Oh.
And cheese.
Morton, in the UK, should be able to find a decent amount.
Oh, no, it was great.
Cheese,
Morton and I hit it off really well. Jeff had a blast. So we'd start every morning with breakfast in the hotel with them. And then Saturday, we just kind of hung out. We did a podcast together. We went to the store, grabbed some more drinks and sodas and candies. We just kind of hung out, talked, did some business. You didn't have
anything you had to be at.
We didn't have to be. No. So Waxstock had like timed for each booth had times of when you could come in, load in.
Oh,
so our load in was like at 3 in the afternoon. Okay. So we left the hotel at like 2, got to do load in. Ivan and Jeff and I took a taxi while Morton and Patrick and Edwin drove because they had the trailer. Patrick was towing the trailer, this really awesome little lightweight double axle trailer with his 5 Series BMW. Which was pretty badass. So
estate or saloon?
It was a saloon.
Okay.
It was pretty cool. So it was.
I saw some comments of the guys like they better refer to things like the bonnet and the boot and not call it a hood or a trunk because that drives me nuts. And like, oh boy, I can't wait to watch him just upset people.
Yeah. So so it was cool to see him tow. I've never, you don't see that in the U.S. all that often is cars towing trailers. Mm-hmm. But this trailer was really dope. So, excuse me, we did our load in. That's when I ran into Alan from AM Details. He was doing his little walkthrough. And
popped up in the back
popped up in the background of his video. I was following him. And then once we got checked in, got our stuff done, then we headed back to the hotel really fast to get ready because we had our trade show dinner.
Right.
And the trade show dinner is for all the people that are exhibiting at Waxstock, so everybody gets together.
You get a chance to know each other.
Yeah, and they have each table split by companies. So like Chemical Guys and Auto Finesse had one table. We had a table with, I can't remember the company we were with. And
so they didn't do it like Rennie style, like at Air Force, where they make everybody sit with people they don't know.
No, they kind of mixed companies together, but there was probably 10 tables, 3-course dinner, phenomenal food. Oh my gosh, it was insane.
Where was that?
What was the food like?
This was at the trade show dinner at the Rico Arena.
At the Rico Arena.
Yeah. Okay. So the food was awesome. So I took a picture of the menu and put it on a thing. I texted it to you guys, but it was like. Our appetizer came in, and it was like basically like a chicken bake, but it was like chicken salad, I think. But it was like had been dipped in like graham cracker, or not graham cracker, but like Ritz crackers kind of thing. It was a little croquet, is what it was, and ate that. That was awesome. Yeah. Oh, it was pork belly, is what it was.
Oh my
chicken and pork.
Gosh.
It's a croquet, awesome, and then it came with a piece of pancetta, which is like bacon, and then like some asparagus and some spinach, and so little salad. That was like the appetizer to start, and then bread and butter and a salted butter with heavy sea salt on the butter. It was awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Then the main course was it was something funny. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really funny sounding like some type of pie. But it was basically mashed potatoes and greens and some butter.
Okay.
Mix. It was like mashed potatoes made into like a cake. Yeah. And then had that with like a piece of chicken with like marinara sauce on top of it with some asparagus and delicious. Some corn. It was really good.
Very good.
Had that, and then dessert came, and dessert was a ganache, like a chocolate ganache slice.
Stop it.
With
oh my gosh.
Like chocolate cookie.
He's getting hungry
bottom,
over here.
And then like some sort of chutney, like pineapple chutney on top. It was wicked. Man. It was wicked. So we ate those, and then we still had 2 seats available on our side. So like Yvonne kept having us pass those over, and we'd split it between the 6 of us.
Yeah. Amazing.
Like every
meal.
I
would have done the same thing.
Looks like a spot for Dane and Anthony, basically.
Yeah. I felt missed.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we ate the food for you guys.
Oh, thanks.
But it was great. I got to run into a lot of people. I got to say hi to Scott Lee, who was working the Flex booth there. Justina Briss, got to see her. Then we got to meet a couple other great folks that were there. Then they ushered everybody after dinner. We were all just sitting talking at the table with other people and just having a ball. Then they ushered everybody, and they're like, "Oh, you guys need to leave. We need to move you into the casino next door." I'm like, "Casino?
Casino?
What is this place?" No, it's a literal casino. They pushed us all in there. They give us one free bet and say, "Here you go." And so we walk into the casino, and there's roulette tables, there's blackjack, there's slot machines.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, this is a real casino. I didn't know.
It's not like some casino night thing.
Yeah, no, it was like a real casino. I was like, holy cow. None of us are bettors, so none of us were betting.
I don't even know how to do half that stuff.
So we did roulette. All of us used our freebie on roulette, and none of us won. And then we got ourselves some drinks, and we all just kind of hung out and talked. Again, we found an empty card table, and we just sat around that and talked and just had a good time. All of us mostly just catching up.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard because, like, with the guys from Rag Company Europe, we only get to talk to them, through Skype maybe once a month or twice a week or twice a month. We text a lot and we messenger a lot, but just being able to be in the same room together and be in each other's presence,
have a real-time conversation,
and just hang out,
face to face,
hang out and talk and tell stories and laugh, and it was about building that relationship, making that relationship stronger. So that was cool. That was when I met Gareth from Dodo Juice. He's their one of their operations guys there. He is the Dane of the UK. He looks exactly like you, to the point that, like,
and his name is Gareth. To
the point that him and Jeff were talking, and I was like,
freaked you out.
Yeah, Jeff called him son.
Yeah,
and then
kept calling him Dane, and Jeff had a couple drinks in him. No, I was like,
Dane, when did you get an accent?
Well, I know your dad used to be a musician, and so I said, Jeff, are you sure you haven't met any English ladies or anything? And that are from maybe 30 years ago, and
Dane's like, this is happening.
This is wonderfully.
So I got to meet Dane's twin brother, separated at birth, and I told these guys that night when I called him, I was like, I literally just met Dane's doppelganger. I'm gonna get a picture of him.
I was just hearing that, and I'm like, really?
Yeah. And I got a picture of him, and
I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, looks like Dane. He looks like
close.
So next year we'll get Dane and Gareth together, and we'll get them to take a picture of each other. So that'll be great.
We'll just switch places. I'll stay in the UK. He'll come back with you.
And he has an M2. Or BMW M2. So.
Why don't I have an M2?
So you could switch places with him and be probably pretty happy.
Yeah. Gareth, I will hold your car for you. Don't worry. You can have my Volvo for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but anyway, it was. So we had a great night. We were up to like 1 o'clock at night. We didn't realize it was almost 2 by the time we got back to our hotel, and we needed to be up and out the door by 8. Like, so we had to eat and everything and be out the door so we could get to Rico before 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because the doors open at 9:30. So. That was a hard night. We slept, got up, had breakfast again, headed to the Rico Arena for Waxstock. So this is Sunday morning, and Waxstock is getting ready to start. And what we heard the night before was Waxstock's unlike anything else. Everybody sells products there.
Yeah, when you mentioned
So for those of you that are wondering,
it seemed odd compared to how we are used to seeing stuff.
Yeah, so this is a true show and shine. And when I mean a true show and shine, as detailers here in the U.S., you guys know as well as we do, you go to a car show, literally there's maybe one car at that entire car show that's been detailed.
Yeah.
Or
one that isn't swirled.
Or it's the one that you detailed for the customer beforehand.
Oh, yeah. That's
right?
True.
So everything else is hammered. Everything else has old men walking around with California car dusters and old bath towels, and they're wiping them down with Meguiar's.
Or they're wiping their wheels with the same towel they're wiping their paint with.
These guys, the day before, are jacking up cars, taking the wheels off. After they've moved the car into its spot, they are jacking it up, pulling the wheels off, cleaning the fender wells, cleaning the shocks, cleaning the brakes, cleaning the wheels, putting the wheels back on, dressing every square inch of the tire, backs of the tire, tops of the tire. I mean... These guys are literally, they're putting mirrors under their cars. There was a dude with a Ford Cortina, so a very like old 60s Escort, and he had driven it 250 miles to the show and then he had it on jack stands, and he was on his back on a creeper, cleaning the underside of the car.
See, I can get down with that. I respect
that's the
that.
kind of show that
That's what I'm talking. But you guys would be like,
love.
holy crap! So there were 16 cars inside, because Saturday had a little car show where they judged all the cars. They picked the best 16 and moved them inside the building. So then these guys got them judged, moved them in, detailed them again, got them ready for the show on Sunday. And Sunday morning, there was still a car show outside of a ton of other cars.
Yeah,
So
you mentioned that. I thought it was just a bunch of cars that happened to be cool that were in the parking lot, but you said there was actually
There's an actual car show out there, too. Sorry.
It's contagious, guys. Careful.
So that was rad to see that. But then to be able to walk around the show and go, whoa, this is a legit show and shine with some high-level detailed cars. That was rad. I've never seen anything like that. Second, everybody sells product.
Okay, yeah.
And they have show specials. So there are people that save up money the entire year to buy product at Waxstock.
Just so they can blow it at the show.
Literally. So we had to get ready. Jeff and I are like, we don't have any money to break change. We don't have any money. And Patrick and Edwin are like, it's cool. We'll make it work.
Huh. Did they know that that's how? Okay. Because, they were there last year.
They came last year. They didn't know that they could sell last year, so they didn't sell anything.
Oh, okay.
They sold a couple things, but not a lot. They didn't come.
Learned.
This year, they came loaded for bear.
Prepared.
So we had half the line with them. We sold most of the Koreans of our lineup with them, and then John Hull sold a lot of the Chinese stuff and some of the extra stuff that they didn't care. So the line was represented well. And at our booth, we had the full line of towels so people could touch and feel the different versions of all the different stuff.
Check it all out.
But, dude, the doors open, and they were like, just watch. You're going to have people that are going to be walking by your booth that are fully loaded with stuff. They're just making a lap to see what they want, and they go outside, put it all in their car, come back in, empty bags ready to go again. And that was exactly what it was. I'd see guys walking by that would be like, they'd wave at me and say, like, hey, and they'd have, like, duffel bags just full of stuff.
Just multiple shopping.
Like the big IKEA bags, right? They're like full of stuff. And then they'd like walk by, hey, how's it going? I'll be back. And then they'd go dump their stuff off. And then they'd show up with like empty bags. And they would literally buy, I need 100 pounds worth of towels.
Wow.
Like crazy. Just absolutely crazy. And we're just like, Jeff and I are literally just selling towels left and right. Morton's running back and forth between the two booths because OptiCoat was right across from us. So Patrick and Edwin and Ivan were running the OptiCoat booth.
If I understand correctly, people didn't know the rag company was going to be
we
there
were,
either.
and we,
so you were like a surprise.
We were a surprise. So a lot of people were like, whoa, I didn't even know you were going to be here because we weren't advertised on there. It was 2 OptiCoat booths.
Yeah.
Is what it said. And that was only a mistake because when they did the registration, it was under OptiCoat.
But that works like a fun little,
John
Easter
knew,
egg.
John knew it was, and so he was, he had pushed a little bit. We had pushed a lot just on our stuff.
Yeah, we mentioned our stuff.
But we didn't mention it on any of their. We did one post where I said I'd be there and come see us at the Rag Company booth, but nobody on the map, it didn't say Rag Company, it said OptiCoat. So just what we did, not advertising, just solely on our podcast and our Facebook and our stuff, we did really well.
You said the booth was full the whole time.
Packed. It went by so fast.
That's cool.
So Jim White came and hung out in our booth, Jim and Terry, which was awesome to have them come hang out in our booth for about an hour. Jim took tons of pictures with folks. It was really great.
You said he's really, really tall.
He is tall. AMD, Alan from AMD Details came and hung out in our booth for a bit too and also talked and glad-handed, which was great. We just had a really good group of people. I was able to give Nick his bottle of bead maker. He came up to me and said, I'm the guy that emailed you. And I talked to Keith and I was like, pulled it out for him, handed it to him. And then I handed, I'd given Scott his bottle of bead maker from Rennie. So they both had their bottles. John Hull had his bottle to play with from Clean and Shiny UK. And then while we were doing that, it was really neat just to meet everybody that came up. I had one guy, very first person to come up to our booth that morning. Was an older gentleman, and he basically said, I was a postman for 30 years. I stumbled upon your guys' YouTube channel. I started watching your guys' videos, and I decided this year to quit being a postman and open my own detail shop. And I just want to thank you guys for doing that, giving me that opportunity and having your channel. And I mean, I was like, you're very welcome.
That's intense. Yeah.
I was blown away. That was the very first person to come up to me at Waxstock.
Great job, sir.
Yeah. So it means the world to hear that kind of stuff. Then I noticed tons of other people came up and just shook hands, said hi, took pictures. Everybody was really, really awesome. There was one guy walking around, had a little shirt on, said Elliot's Car Wash, and he had his son, and they were holding hands. And his son was probably 10, 11 years old. And his son kept pointing at me, and they walked by a couple times, but we had a big crowd of people. And then finally he walked over to the Optico booth. They talked to Ivan for a while, and then Ivan pointed at me and was like sending him over. So I broke off from my conversation and said hi. And the dad told me, this is Elliot. He has autism. He loves washing cars. Every Saturday, we have a little sandwich board. We set it up in our driveway. That we spend the week scheduling car washes for the neighborhood. People pay us to wash their car. They pay Elliot to wash the cars. Every evening when Elliot has dinner, he watches your guys' channel. He watches your YouTube channel. He watches Jim White. But he really likes watching your guys' stuff. He really likes watching Wash Wednesday. He said, just thank you for having
awesome.
that. And the whole time, Elliot was standing there holding his dad's hand, and he was just swaying. And he kept pointing his finger at me, and he was like, Dad, there he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. And he just kept saying that over and over again. And he's like, I know, boy. I know. And being a dad and being a parent just and having a child with autism and knowing what is involved and knowing what is there to calm that type of child down, and to know that we provide that calm. It took everything in my power not to cry at that moment. But I said, can I take a picture with you? And I only had lens cloths and stickers, and I gave him some, and he was like super excited about it, and he was like, yeah, oh, he was very, very excited. I took that picture with him. He was really happy that, and I gave his dad my card, and I said, email me. I'm going to get you guys a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, you don't have to do that. I was like, email me, please. I'm going to send you stuff. Email me. And he was like, okay, well, I really appreciate it, but that's not us. It's not how we do it. And I just thank you for what you guys do. And I was like, email. So I hope, if you're listening, I hope you email us for Elliot's Car Wash so that we can get you some stuff, man, because it's impressive to me that your son loves to do that, and I want to keep fostering that. I want to keep pushing that.
Encourage.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And so that was awesome, and those two were like the ones that got me. Like they really hit me hard that we're doing something right, and that it's very different feeling. We can glad hand and we can take pictures and we can act like celebrities and have fun with those people, but at the end of the day, what we're providing is a service that is helping others, and that means a ton to have that and to be that far over the country and know that we're affecting someone's life every day, or that we're changing someone's life.
That's so cool.
Phenomenal to me, and I cannot be more humbled and blessed by that. So Waxstock was awesome. 2:30 in the afternoon, I went up with Ivan and Fraser Gordon of Wowo's and John Hogg of Angel Wax, and the four of us sat up on a panel moderated by Alan, and we basically took questions from the audience for the last hour and a half of the show, which was really great. So it was fun to kind of go through and debunk some things that guys had questions about, or people had comments and things like that about. So that was really cool. We were going to try and hook up and go to dinner with Jim and Terry from White Details. Terry had a little bit of a family emergency, had to head back, so we couldn't. But Jim said definitely he wants to plan it out for next year. He's also kind of hinting that he may come to SEMA. We said then we'll hook up with him then. But awesome guys, just sweethearts. I absolutely just had a ball with them. Thank you guys for coming and visiting and hanging out with us. It was awesome.
Well, if we make a trip next year, we'll have to make a trip out to his
So
facility,
he's
too.
2 hours above Coventry.
I'd still make that.
It's a long drive.
I'd still
not
make
even,
that trip.
Levi,
it's a long train ride.
Okay, I was going to say, let us remind you,
Anthony and I,
we
what
drove
do?
7 hours on the East Coast. How many
but
different
the difference
days?
is, guys, we're not renting a car.
Oh, yeah. That's
Well,
true.
you say that now, but
Which one of you guys is driving that car?
I'll drive
I
it.
say we rent motorcycles.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get
So,
from one place to the
I'm out
other
of my
real
element
fast.
there.
Yeah,
that's all
so needless to say, it's I like to tell myself that I'm an amateur racing driver.
Mm-hmm.
And Dane, you know how
You
skilled
practice every day on the street.
You know how skilled I am at driving.
Oh, yes.
I am not.
Skilled. That's
I
the
am-
word I'd use.
I am not comfortable in the UK driving.
Well, it's just because everything's backwards.
No, it is far scarier than that.
Well, I watch a lot of motovlogging videos for UK motovloggers, and they definitely run into some scary stuff. But you're saying it's...
Dane, I am fearless when it comes to driving a vehicle. You know that quite well.
Yeah, well,
I am
you
scared
just
to
save up
drive.
the fear for the rest of us in
I
the
am
car.
scared to drive there.
Okay.
So if I am scared and I am the fearless driver,
Is it because you're on the opposite side of the road or
He
the
said
opposite
it's
side of the
not
car?
that, though.
it's not just that.
It's the other drivers.
Right.
or
The other
just-
driver. Freeways are fine. The freeways, the highways, the M whatever, I can totally handle.
So it's probably
It's the
mostly
town
the
stuff.
fact that the streets are a lot skinnier.
Streets are a
Lanes are smaller.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pedestrian traffic all around, I'm sure. You know, people just walking.
Drivers are far more aggressive.
Okay. So it's like going to Utah.
No,
No.
I can handle Utah. I can handle Vegas. I can handle LA. I can
I mean, I
handle
spent my fair share with California.
Seattle.
but-
I can handle the East Coast. I don't
I'm
think I
intrigued.
could.
Now
I don't
really
think I
wanna-
could handle. Even your dad said that. He's like, "What do you think?" I was like, "I'm not comfortable." He's like, "If you're not comfortable, I'm not comfortable." I said, "Thank you. That means I'm a supreme driver."
Don't let
If
it go
the
to your
boss
head.
man's telling us that. So, needless to say, we'll figure
Okay.
it out. So
We will
yes, I
figure
would
it
love
out.
to be able to hit up Jim's shop and check it out.
Yep.
It is a 2-hour ride up.
Still feel like it's worth it.
On
Anyway.
it, but here's the second thing. So we finished Waxstock. We all went out to dinner. We finally got to hit the Cozy Club. So six
Oh,
of
you
us,
did get to go.
yeah. So us and the team went to the Cozy Club, had dinner. Awesome place. Drinks were cold. The shop was cold. Nice food. It was a perfect end to the evening. Like we could just relax.
Yeah.
Everything's
Get
done.
cozy.
Yeah, get cozy, so to speak.
Named appropriately.
So
Yeah.
got done, had dinner, great dinner. Your dad literally had the best cheeseburger of his entire life there, to
In
the
the
point
UK
that he
of
would
all
not let
places.
go of it
Huh.
while he was trying to like shake his ketchup bottle. Like he couldn't get his ketchup out.
What was on it?
On
Was it
just-
just a normal
It was a
that happened
cheeseburger.
to be
So it was
good
a burger with
ingredients,
some
or-
cheese on it and some bacon. Then on top of it was macaroni and cheese in a croquet, another little burger patty of
I swear it's
macaroni and
pronounced
cheese.
croqueta, but
It was probably a croqueta of macaroni and cheese.
That actually sounds really good. Just like fried on the. Oh boy.
Yeah.
And then the burger itself. And he was your dad. I've never seen, and I've been on a lot of trips and I've eaten a lot of meals with him. I have never seen him this much in.
When he gets enthusiastic
pleasure
about something,
zone,
it's genuine.
He was in he could die.
Levi, I don't need to hear about my dad's pleasure zone.
Jeez.
No, I'm just saying he could have died at that moment and he would have been totally happy not seeing you or Corey or your mom ever again.
Oh
That burger
my
was
God.
that strong. I'm
Boy,
just
that
saying.
got dark.
I'm just
All right.
saying that burger was that
He
strong.
just looks at you and says, "Tell my wife and kids I love them."
Literally.
Takes one last bite.
Literally.
And just dies.
Literally, that's what could have happened with him. So he had that burger. He didn't talk. He just ate. He just ate that burger. He enjoyed it so much. It was so funny. Then when he finished, the girl came by and she was like, "Did you guys want dessert?" And we're like, "No, we're okay." And then Ivan goes, "Jeff, I see your dessert's ready back there." And it was another one of those burgers sitting behind his
Yeah.
shoulder. And Jeff's like, don't tempt me. I'm about ready to order another one. But
well, I guess
anyway,
I know what I'm getting when we
so when we go to Coventry, you're going to get that burger. We'll go to the Cozy Club, and we'll make sure you get one of those. Because I'm going to try it next time. I was like,
I'll just live there. Gareth will come back with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Be totally set.
Yeah, there you go. So
you won't know the difference.
Yeah, so we had dinner.
I'll just sound funny.
Went back to the hotel, hung out a bit more, then got up the next morning, chilled out, chatted some more. Everybody left about 11. Jeff and I got on our train, took our cab to the station, got our tickets. This is where it got hard. So we had to get to London.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, John said, hit up my place, get to my town, which is just past London. I'll pick you guys up. We're going to take you out on the town. John Holf, Clean and Shiny. Him and his wife are going to take us out. So we're like, cool. He gives us the train schedule. We say, awesome. We go up to our counter. We say, this is where we want to go. This is what trains we want to take. The lady says, that's changed. This is literally like within like 2 hours of him sending the info to us there.
So real quick, I have to ask. So is a train station in the UK similar to the anxiety that I get from watching Harry Potter and Platform 9 3/4?
Yeah.
See, that sounds terrifying to me because
it was
just
fine.
be
stereotypical.
It's not
Well,
that.
I'm just
so the
saying.
ones, the towns aren't that big.
Okay.
It's very small. There's maybe like 2 rails, and you got to go this side or the other side. You just go over the bridge and come back down. It's very simple.
Yeah.
In London, yes, it's very crazy, and there's 10 railways and all kinds of stuff. So, but we walk up to the train booth to the lady, ticket counter, say, here's what we want to get. She says, looks it up. Nope, been redirected. Let me get this. She does her math, all that stuff, figures it out, gives us our new train ticket, says, here you go, platform 2 on that side. I said, all right. So we head over. We get to that platform. We get on the train. We're like, sweet, this is awesome. Take the train in, right? Hour-long train ride.
Yeah.
We're supposed to get off at this stop. Watching, okay, next stop coming up. Conductor gets on. Next stop coming up here is Oxford Station or Banbury Station. Get off. And we said, all right, cool. Train comes to a stop. Jeff and I get up, grab our stuff, go out the back. Can't get through. Tons of people getting on the train, the back. I'm like, oh, we must have gotten off maybe this is the enter and the other one's the exit. Maybe that's because I don't know the train system, right?
Boy. Yeah.
So Jeff and I walk, I'm like, can't get past. Jeff, we got to go the other way. So we start getting to the other side because we only have a few minutes to get off the train.
Yeah.
And to the other side, there is a dog on the train with us. Jeff cannot get through. He's trying to get past. He
like
trips over the dog.
Or?
No, it's just a lady's boxer.
Huh.
Jeff trips over the dog.
He kicked the dog?
Oh, no.
Trips over the dog.
No.
Trying to hit the button to open the door because she won't get the dog out of the aisle. And we're carrying our suitcases through the aisle of the... And this is like a plane aisle.
He's just wheeling it through. He's like, dog.
It's not a wide aisle.
He punched the dog?
Yeah. It's not a wide aisle like, you'd think. This is like it's a train aisle, but it's very similar to like an airplane aisle.
Sure.
Yeah.
So they're very tight, and we're wheeling large suitcases through.
Yep.
And there's a dog in the way. Jeff trips, falls over the dog. She picks the dog up, gets out of the way. We get through into the little spot to go through the door. The door is closing.
Oh, no.
On us. Jeff runs up, hits the button to try and get it to open. It won't let us out. It's locked. So now we're going to the next train station.
Bunch of amateurs. You're supposed to grab your suitcase and wedge it between the doors.
Jeff was he was in the wrong position for that, right?
Okay.
So we're like, son of a... All right.
Yeah.
So we ride the train into the next station, Oxford. We get off that train. Then we hop on the next train back to Banbury because we have to make our connecting train, right? We get back to Banbury, look up our train, and our train has already come and passed. So we have to wait for the next train. So I get on the phone with John and say, so we missed that train. He's like, why are you in Banbury? You should be in this one. I said, that didn't work. They redirected us this way. So because it was so hot, there was a ton of different delays on the tracks because the trains can't run as fast when the tracks are that hot. The trains weren't designed to run on those tracks at that temperature. Mind you, remember, the UK is in the middle of a heat wave. that is the hottest it's ever been in 30 years.
But like you figure the rails are rails. If the rails work in another country at a certain temperature, the rails are going to work similarly.
Dean, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
Nope.
When the trains are running 150 miles an hour that aren't
Also,
designed.
do they have bathrooms on those trains?
Yes. Very nice bathrooms.
That's nice.
Anthony, always asking the real questions.
Well, I mean, it's just an important question.
Too. Large bathrooms.
Wow. Sounds nice.
Yeah. No, you would be happy.
Can't wait.
Anthony would be happy. He's like, well, we got an hour.
Hold on, guys. I got to run down can. Let me board this train for a minute, and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
No, very nice bathroom. So you'd have no problem. They have a little trolley cart that goes by selling snacks.
Just don't trip on a dog on your way there.
Yeah. Jeez. Don't punch a dog.
So we call him and say, so what's our next train? We are in this station, and we're trying to get to you. And he goes up, he looks up, he's like, oh, wow, okay. Well, you're going to have to catch this next train, just 30 minutes away.
Oh.
So we're like, all right. So we sit, wait. I go get a Snickers and some soda. And we're hanging out, waiting for that train. It shows up. It's 30 minutes behind of when it should have been in.
So you're an hour.
So we're now an hour behind of where we should be, which has now moved our thing back. So John says, actually meet me at this train station on the route. I said, okay. He goes, it's basically 2 stops up. I will leave my place and meet you at that train station. I should time it that I'll be there the same time you guys get there. I said, oh. He goes, that'll save us an hour. I was like, oh, this will be great then.
Make up the hour you lost.
Make up the hour we lost. So he goes, text me as soon as you get on that train, and then I'll know how much time I have. And I said, all right. So text him, say, hey, we're on the train. He's like, perfect. This should work out just fine. Get off at this exit or at this station. I said, all right. So we get on the train, ride that train. It's awesome. This time I learn, as soon as the conductor says we're getting ready, we'll be entering the station in about 5 minutes. That's the time you get up and you make your way.
You don't wait. You get there.
You get to the door and you get ready for the door to open.
Yeah.
So I grabbed Jeff. He fell asleep. I elbow him. I'm like, let's go. It's time.
Like I punched him. Woke him up.
Yeah. So we get to the station, and we get off. We get done. I text John, say we're here. We landed. He's like, cool, perfect. I'm like 5 minutes away. I said, awesome. He picks us up, hop in his Range Rover Evoque, meet his lovely wife Amanda, who we met at the show, but kind of just said, hey. This time we got to say hi, and
it was busy. Now you have time to
we can hang out
for a minute.
John and his wife surprise us. They're going to take us on the London Eye.
Oh, which
was
cool.
rad.
Yeah.
So, but first we're going to hit Topaz, and we're going to go to the Topaz detail shop and check them out because we met the guys from Topaz. We used to supply Topaz.
That's the detail shop.
Yeah, they are the detail shop in London, and we used to supply them. They changed suppliers. No name, really. I mean, they didn't go to anybody else.
It happens.
Yeah, they just bought towels. But they met with us at SEMA. They've been, or at Waxstock. They really like everything we're doing on social media. They've been following us. Mm-hmm. So they were excited to do business with again. So we went to take a tour with them. Mm-hmm. Got to check out their facility. It's phenomenal. I mean... Yeah. The level of cars there, they have an NDA on some of the cars, so I can't talk about them.
They're so nice you can't talk about them.
But just some phenomenal one-of-one kind of vehicles. Cars that, there was one car there, it's not out yet for sale. It doesn't come out for another, 2 months.
Or like when you hear those, crazy one-offs that are built for a very, very, very rich, very private person.
It was there.
They're probably going to go through that shop.
Yeah, it was there getting detailed while we were there.
London. Yeah.
Phenomenal stuff. Custom color cars. They had a LaFerrari in a custom color. I was like, just sitting there. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. But you go in and it's Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Porsches, just crazy stuff. But they're next to the Pagani building too. Mm-hmm. So Pagani's next to them, which was pretty cool. Anyway, so we did the tour with them, got to check the place out. See what they're doing, then check out their current towel lineup, which was rad.
Well, that's nice because it gives you a chance to compare and contrast and be like, oh, if you're using this, then you're going to want something like this.
Yeah, so we could see what they were currently using and what we could change, which was really great. Then we headed into London.
Nice.
Parked and started walking around, and got to hit Coventry Park, got to hit Trafalgar Square, got to hit all the landmarks down there, got to go to Piccadilly Circus, got to check all that stuff out, which was really rad. Then make our way across the Thames to the London Eye, which is the big Ferris wheel thing. Went around that. I went live on Instagram for that, and everybody got to see what was going on. It was pretty cool. And then we got done with that, so you could see the whole city. It's crazy how cool it was. Got done with that, walked back to our car, got some little. I got my little gifts. I got my wife a little Union Jack purse. I got my kids some pencil cases with Union Jack stuff on it. I still was looking for flags. I needed Union Jack flags, but they were all cleared out because of the World Cup.
Oh, of course.
It was 2 weeks prior, and so they were sold out of little Union Jack flags everywhere, and England flags, and so couldn't get any of those. And then my wife wanted envelopes, UK envelopes, with the airmail envelopes with the blue and the red stripes.
Yeah.
I couldn't. The post office in Chichester was closed before we left, and then couldn't get it when we were in London because it was a Sunday night or Monday night. So John's going to send me some notes, some envelopes, so that's cool. And then and in exchange, I purchased large quantities of M&Ms and Jolly Ranchers for him.
Oh.
So John, I got those the other day, so I have them. I'll take a picture of it and
You can't
send it
get
to you.
those there?
You can. It's very expensive. So I've decided to create a new black market ring. Those of you that want, M&Ms, half-gallon bags of M&Ms.
That's what you do when you're creating a new black market. You talk about it publicly on a podcast.
I'll be selling them for the little extra money and then shipping. But no, you get the normal grocery store size that you get, like just the small bag.
Yeah.
They're 5 pounds.
Wow.
So
okay. Yeah.
$5. So it's almost $10 American.
Yeah.
It's like $7 American
for a small
bag. That costs us about 50 cents.
Yeah, right.
Less than that sometimes. Yeah, 50 cents is actually about right.
Yeah. Come Halloween, day after or so.
Yeah. So anyway, so I went to Walmart and bought half-gallon bags of stuff for John. So for $5.
Spoil them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send them over in exchange, and that was cool. So had a really great time. Then they drove us past Buckingham Palace. They drove us past the Natural History Museum, all that stuff. Anthony's drawing on a towel right now.
I'm giving subliminal messaging on this towel.
So
help me.
But then John dropped us off at the Renaissance at Heathrow. So I was already a little nervous. Sorry, guys. I know this has been a long story, but I was already nervous about the airport hotel.
Okay.
So Jeff and I had to be at the airport at like 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. So I picked a hotel right at the airport. Mm-hmm. So John dropped us off there that night. We said goodbye. Then we... I forgot to tell this. There was a musician or a magician stopped at our table at dinner that night after the Eye. We went and got dinner. A magician stopped by, and I left his card at home, and I told him I would talk about him on the podcast. So I am sorry, Mr. Magician.
Oh no! Well, it must have been good if you.
I will bring it up in the next. I will bring it up in the next week's podcast. I apologize, but he did some awesome tricks. Sitting at the table in front of us, he had the cards. I'd cut them and everything to the point that I was holding on to he handed me the deck of cards. I held it. We pulled a card out, set it on its face, and then held them there, set them there, put them back. I shuffled them up. I held on to the cards. And how they ended up where they ended up, I don't know.
Sleight of hand.
Guy was pretty awesome. Either he had his own double card that he was holding on to, because I flipped him over and looked through him. I couldn't find that card back in there, and he never once touched them. So
it's always
pretty dope. Pretty dope. And I'm all about trying to figure that stuff
it's
out.
Fun, yeah.
And anyway, so it was cool. So sorry, dude. Forgot to mention your name, and I forgot your card.
I'll get him on the next one.
I'll get you on the next one. Anyway, awesome magician. So anyway, we're back at the Renaissance. We go to check in, right? Jeff and I go in. I go to check in. The guy goes, all right, so one king-size bed. And I said, no, I requested 2 twin-size beds. And that's how they do it in the UK. Not like 2 double beds; it's a twin. And so you each get a twin bed. And so
you're like sticking off the end.
Right. So I was like, it's midnight. I got to get up in like 4 hours. 2 twin beds. And the guy's like, okay, let me see what I can do. Works and works, goes and talks to his manager, comes back. He's like, I think this room has a twin bed, 2 twin beds. I was like, okay.
I think, but I'm not sure.
It says twin on it.
But he doesn't
But it was
trust
cleaned.
it.
And he's like, I'm pretty sure this is a twin. So he assigns it to us, gives us our cards, sends us up to our room. We get to our room, turn on the lights, walk in the door, king-size bed. Like,
you sleep in a chair. You get the bed.
so Jeff starts logging in because he's got to check us in for our flight.
Yeah.
The Virgin Atlantic app is down, so I can't use my phone.
Oh.
So Jeff gets on with the laptop. I call front desk. King-size room, guys. Need 2 twins. They're like, we're sorry, we're sending somebody up. I talked to the manager. She's like, I'm the one that picked that room for you. I am so sorry. Let me see what I can do. She finds another room, a twin bedroom for us. Sends her guy up. The guy grabs us, runs us down another 40 rooms.
Whoa.
We walk past 40 rooms.
Whoa.
This is a huge hotel.
It must be.
It's massive. I've never been in a hotel that big.
I mean, if it's an airport hotel, it's got to accommodate quite a
yeah,
quite a
it was
few.
long and huge. We get to the next room, twin beds. I'm like, oh, thank God. Call my wife, tell her, all right, we'll see you in the morning. Jeff calls Carolyn, hey, we'll see you in the morning. We'll see you in the afternoon. We're going to get up early. You guys will be in bed by the time. Pass out, go to sleep. I take a shower the night before. Jeff takes a shower in the morning. So, sorry, guys, hitting this.
He's still readjusting.
I literally was. Wake up the next morning, best night's sleep because the hotel has AC.
Ah,
The
there
beds
you
are
go.
comfortable, and we are literally on the runway, and you cannot hear the planes landing.
That place must be insulated like crazy.
Insanely insulated. I was so worried because I was like, this is going to be like, it's on the runway.
It's like when you get into a hotel that's next to like a rail yard or something like that.
yeah,
You
I totally was like, oh, this is, yeah, I was
going by
like,
the
this is
whole
going to
time.
suck.
Oh.
Got my 4 hours of sleep. We head out, pack up all our stuff. We go downstairs. They're like, you can hop on the bus out there and catch the bus to the airport. It'll take you right. You just tell them what room where you're going. So Jeff and I get in there. We go to put our bags down, right? We get on the bus. Jeff is in the process of putting his bag in the carrier, like they have on those buses, like the holder. As he's doing that, the driver guns it.
Oh.
Right? As soon as he guns it, Jeff goes reeling back. Falls and hits the back of his neck on like a safety pole.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's across
crap.
the window that people like grab onto, right?
Ooh.
Almost lands on another lady. Like she has her arm on the pole. Jeff lands on her arm, which
Like
then crushes it against.
Zero warning. You're about to
no
go to
warning.
the hospital.
No, like I was like, oh my gosh! Grab Jeff, pick him up, grab his bag. We throw that stuff back in the thing.
It's his drivers again. You're
The driver's
talking
just
about.
taking off. Like he doesn't care. He's just going for it. And Jeff's
Gotta
like,
be on time.
holy crap! Like I didn't even have it. Like no warning, not like a beep or a noise or anything. Just like we got on. Jeff's literally walking to put his cart down. The guy just guns it and takes off. Thankfully, it was only like a 2-minute ride to the hotel, to the airport.
Yeah.
Drops us off. We get done. Jeff is still like
Well, it was 2 minutes because he's driving so
rubbing his
fast.
neck, like, oh man, I can't believe that.
Oh,
like,
boy.
Get up to our same thing, Virgin Atlantic.
Yeah.
No line, economy delight. Walk right up. Here you go.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is awesome. Go through everything. Get onto our flight. Best flight back home. Awesome. We leave at our flight was at 9:30 in the morning. We landed in Boise about 6, but we landed in Seattle at like noon. We made up some time in the air. It was crazy.
So how long was the flight then?
9 hours.
Oh.
9 hours is pretty quick considering.
Yeah, it wasn't
when
bad.
we're flying across the states. It takes
Yeah.
6 hours.
I watched the movies again. They brought us lunch and afternoon tea, as they said. Again, phenomenal. Like they gave me a sandwich. I've never eaten the sandwich, so those of you that have listened, you probably have. It was a sandwich with tomato and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Just one piece of tomato and one piece of cheese, and
That's
it
it.
was delightful.
Yeah.
And I have never in my entire life ever wanted to eat anything like that. If
Because you
someone's
just see
like,
that
"Here
and
you
you're
go."
just like,
Yeah, they were like, this was the afternoon snack. The lunch was great. The lunch was awesome. But then this was the afternoon snack. They brought like chips and a sandwich. And I was like, well, this is weird. And then I ate it. I was like, this is really good. Like,
So what were the bathrooms like inside the Virgin
oh my
Atlantic?
God.
it was like a normal airplane. It was just nothing. It was a normal bathroom.
He wanted to see if there's a sleeping
I didn't
pod
go in
in
the. I didn't go in the first class.
Oh, okay.
So I did the one that was in between business and economy.
Yeah.
Landed in Seattle. We had to go through customs again and immigration through Seattle. That was easy. Had to go back around, recheck in at the Delta counter. Once we checked back in, got our flight stuff, then Jeff and I went up to the Clear kiosk again. This time got all checked in. Went to go through with Jeff because I didn't know. I thought I could take one adult with me. Could not. Jeff. So I'm like, well, I'll wait for you. So Jeff goes, screw
See ya.
this. He went and signed up for Clear just to have it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Signed up, used his Delta Sky Mile thing, all that stuff. Signed up for Clear. Then he went through, and we got it done. We waited. We had like a 2-hour layover in Seattle. Hopped on business class Delta on a little regional jet, which put our seats directly behind first class. So again, copious amounts of legroom.
Oh, yeah.
Great for that little 45-minute, 1-hour flight to Boise. Landed in Boise. Your mom and Corey picked us up in the Escalade. Drove us back to your parents' house. I picked up my car, threw my stuff in, stopped at a gas station and got my soda, and drove home. Pulled up in front of my house. As I'm driving up, my wife and kids are there because I called her and said I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So they're up front waiting for me, but my kids just wave at the car. I honk. They just wave. And I'm like, wow, they're not like excited to see me or
Be more
anything.
excited.
Yeah. I pull
my
up,
God.
I open the door, and Augie and Hadley are like, oh my gosh, it's Dad. And they're like screaming.
They didn't
Daddy,
know
Daddy,
that
Daddy.
was
Like
your
they were
car?
running to me. And they were like crying. They were like so excited. And I was like,
What?
you guys saw my car.
You were just waving a minute
You just
ago.
waved like, oh, I'm just some neighbor. And then as soon as they saw my face, they were like, it's Dad. They were dying.
I'm picturing like a baby with object permanence, you know.
Yeah, they're
learning
just like,
the whole
hey,
thing
oh, it's
again.
you. Oh, it's you. Like, it was so, needless to say, it was great homecoming because I was home by like 6 o'clock p.m., so I was able to do baths and story
You had
time and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff, which was great. And then I stayed up till midnight, 11 o'clock.
Because at this point, you're used
Well, I had to reset my clock.
Yeah.
So I stayed up and then woke up at a normal time, came to work, worked Wednesday, Thursday, took Friday off so that I could just have the weekend with the family
Yeah.
because we leave again in 2 days.
Thursday
Thursday morning,
2
guys.
days, that's right.
Thursday morning,
Early,
we're
early.
up early.
The
and
flight
we're
happens at like
6 a.m.
Oh my God.
I need to go get a haircut.
Yeah.
That's his first
So
thought.
we've got another trip to Rupes. We're only flying to Denver, but we're flying business class, Delta. Thank you.
got
Yeah.
the
Should be
lap
nice.
of luxury there.
Yeah.
Man.
So we're gonna hang out with the OG crowd
Yeah.
for those 2 days.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be.
But it'll be
Wait,
nice. It's a
2
Thursday,
days.
Friday. We're spending one night in Denver. We're back Friday afternoon, which is nice. Friday evening,
I
late
get
evening.
to stay at my favorite hotel.
So you still
The
got your
Omni.
weekend. Oh, the Omni
know.
Interlaken.
I know. I
So
love that place,
and then we
man.
come home and we still have Saturday and Sunday at home, which is nice. So
Yeah.
that'll be good.
Yeah.
But- So tell me real quick, you went
Yeah.
back up because
Yeah,
this was a
I-
second.
I just couldn't get enough
Road
of Sun
rally.
Valley and high-speed driving. So
But this time you took your special lady friend with you.
that would be my girlfriend. But yes, she came with me. We
Romantic
went up
weekend.
to
Romantic weekend.
we went up to Sun Valley because they were hosting what's called the Sun Valley Tour de Force. Now,
Not
this
to be
is
confused with the Sun
Sun
Valley Road Rally.
which occurred the week prior. And it did confuse a lot of people because it's basically the same thing all over again, but in a different
Back to back.
It's similar.
Different cars,
similar
though, right?
Thing, but the execution was different. So yeah, very different cars, all that stuff. I would say if you were to pick between the shows, you're going to find more muscle American-oriented stuff at the Sun Valley Road Rally, and then at the Tour de Force, it was more of the Euro and exotic stuff. So yeah, it's because the Sun Valley Auto Club is involved with it, so they bring in a lot of those connections. But yeah, no, it was really interesting because I went up on Friday early in the morning because they had a car show that evening in the town square in Ketchum, Sun Valley. And yeah, they have like, I don't know if you're familiar, but maybe it's just Sun Valley Ketchum, or maybe it's a thing that happens in other ski towns around, but they have like this parallel parking that happens in the middle of this very wide, street, I guess you could call it. It's like 2 lanes of streets with parking spaces on the outside, and then there's parallel parking in the middle. And if you see in pictures, it makes more sense, but it's kind of funky. But that's what they did, is they basically just roped off this middle section and put all the cars in a giant line down the middle like that. So it was cool. And then they put the cars that were running went in the middle for the most part. And
was it hot up there?
It was pretty toasty. I mean, it was low 90s. But, it was still nice mountain town air and stuff. But, they brought out a lot of cool cars. Obviously, I was super excited. I had a Bugatti Chiron there. They had a McLaren P1 GTR, which is extremely rare.
Yeah.
They had a Singer Porsche. That one was super cool. I think they called that the Florida car or something. It's like this really cool Atlantic blue color with orange wheels and accents. Yeah. And if you know Singer, those are special Porsches. $500,000 usually for one of those. So serious stuff. But lots of cool cars. I saw like Citroen DS's. And anyway, lots of cool stuff at the car show. I got a lot of footage. I was a one-man crew, so I was trying to get as much as I could. I did a little Instagram Live. I got pictures, used my phone, ran around, got lots of stuff. But, just wanted to have fun with that. And then I knew the next day they'd be doing the speed runs. And basically the speed runs occur at this place called Phantom Hill, which I had never gone to before. I'd probably driven up that way.
So different location, too.
Yeah, I'd driven up that way before. But, it's essentially, like it says, it's a hill. So it's kind of an incline, and you kind of go downhill a little bit. So it allows the cars to build up some serious speed. But, it's like 15 miles north of Sun Valley. So it's a little ways out there. So basically, I had gotten a VIP ticket, paid for that because I wanted to get a good look at the place, figure out what the experience is like.
Yeah.
I didn't know about media passes or any of that stuff because I literally just found out about this thing last minute. So I wanted to go check it out. But I got the VIP treatment, which was nice. You go up there and they're like, oh, they're giving you coffee and all this stuff at the pits. It's really nice. And basically.
How much was the VIP pass?
$200.
Okay.
So it's not nothing, but at the same time, it was a cool experience. I think if I got a media pass, it'd be like a different thing. I don't think I'd have to pay that. It'd be more like, oh, you're on your own, but at the same time, maybe their shuttles would take you, maybe they wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they had shuttles that were well organized. It would take you from the pits where they had the big organization. They would take you up to where the starting line is. And then you could, film from there. You could check stuff out. And the difference between the two road rallies is, on this one, they're kind of just like, well, if we just tell you, we're not going to say you can't do something, but we're not going to say you can. But if you happen to find yourself, say halfway down the course and you're on a hill watching from there, we can't stop you. It's public land kind of thing. So basically a lot of people find their way up there and they just watch from the sides.
Yeah.
So it's a little different because you can actually see the different points and get a lot of good footage of the side as they're going by and stuff because there's a lot of inclines. I'll tell you right now, though, I did a lot of hiking and the shrubbery out there, not so friendly to your shoes. Rips you up, goat heads and all that good stuff. So, yeah, there were like
cheatgrass
ticks and cheatgrass and fire ants and all kinds of good stuff out there.
Oh, man, fire ants,
at the same time, though, it was really cool. And the whole time I was up there was along with a few other folks you may recognize, like the Strab Man. He's big on YouTube. He had a couple of friends with him, and they were up there. I ended up like riding the shuttle up with those guys and then hiking with them and going along to get the different vantage points along the way. I met some nice folks from Texas who ran like a shipping logistics company. I didn't catch their names, but they're very interested in the rag company now, so that's cool. But just met lots of cool, nice people up there. Got a lot of good looks, and I'm going to have a lot of footage and pictures that I'll be putting up on the channel as well here too. You've probably seen if you follow my Facebook at all or anything. I posted up some stuff from my Instagram. I posted some stuff up there at Great Dane Films.
Yeah,
so you can check that out. But gives you a good look at it. And without spoiling anything, there was definitely some cool stuff that went down there. But I'll wait till we put out the pictures and videos for people to see. So at any rate, that pretty much sums it up. It was a good weekend, though.
Next year, Waxstock.
Yes.
We will be there in full force, the entire team.
Yes.
Jeff and Patrick have been talking about bigger booths.
Yeah. Sounds like we're going to need it.
We're going to take it over. So, for those of you listening, we are planning this year. One of our new strategies for next year is we're really going to try and push Europe and the UK a lot. It's an emerging market for detailing. Unlike the US, like it's a big market that is still very young. It's still in its infancy. Products and equipment and stuff. It's over there, and they've got a good. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are detailers and validators over there that are doing a lot.
But while there's definitely some like YouTube audience crossover, the
social media isn't very big. The brands don't cross over as much, and so it's unique for us to be able to really try and tap into that market. Mm-hmm. So we're really excited, and I think you guys will be too. I had a blast at Waxstock. Thank you to everybody that was over there that made us feel welcome and at home. And man, it's unlike anything I've ever seen.
Anthony and I are super excited to go meet you guys next year.
Yeah, so, they'll be there.
That'll be fun.
So come see us. We're really going to try this year too with the podcast. We want to really try and get some of those folks from over there onto the podcast through via Skype or something like that, where we can maybe go to a meeting or something where we can capture audio and video, and we can actually like do more with our podcast for you guys. So you can we can focus it more for those folks too, and also for our American listeners that they can hear, and our Australian listeners as well. So got a lot of growth, a lot of good stuff coming back, so we're really excited about it.
Well, we do have a few podcasts that you recorded while you were over there. You have one with John, and then you have one with the bigger group, and you have those. I think Tim's working on those.
I wanted to get one at dinner with Jim White, but again, like I said, we didn't have time.
Didn't work out
dinner,
that time, but
didn't work. But
we got next time coming, though.
That's right. So. Anyway,
I think that pretty much sums it up. I like your sticker, by the way.
Yeah, my new Waxstock sticker.
And I know you had your War Auto Spa sticker on there, too.
He was loving that. Sticker over there.
Right.
So,
it's a nice sticker.
Oh, and the Rupes guys. So, Dylan, I know you're listening. The boys in the UK do not have these stickers. And
what, guys?
They are like, we don't even get those. How did you get them? I said, I have a stack sitting in my office if you want some.
Wow.
So you
There's
might need to
wrong
send them
with
over
that
there
picture. They got
to Dave over there and send it to him. So.
You shouldn't have to get your Rufus stickers from Levi.
I can send it. I'm just saying. I got a stack.
It's the principle of it.
Yeah.
At any rate.
So.
No. Thanks so much, guys, for listening. I know we've gone on for 1:20 now, which is a little longer than we normally go, but it's a good story, and we want to give you a chance. Yeah, by the way.
Got my clean and shiny shirt.
Very nice. Very simple, clean, elegant. People can definitely follow that hashtag. So, any rate, guys, is there anything else left to add?
No, I think that's it.
No, that's it. All right, and I want to throw this out there again. As you probably know, if you're watching this, you're watching from the new Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. That is a new thing. So that's not the Rag Company YouTube channel. It's the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel. So if you go looking for it, you got to search the Rag Company Podcast. You may find a playlist or something. But anyway, just making sure everybody's on that same page. And we'll include a link on our Shout engine as well for folks who are listening from like iTunes or any of those other places. So at any rate, guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. We'll get that magician in there next time.
Yeah, that's right.
And, we're looking forward. UK next year, that's going to be fun, too.
Yeah,
so
should be good.
All right, guys. Till next time, adios.
See ya.